Hello and welcome to episode 16 of Ryan and Robin Wrexham, where today we've done it again. We started the season awfully, just as we did last season, and we're now doing really well. We're actually first in the league, ahead of Fulham with a game in hand on them. I don't know quite how we've done it, but well, I guess this is how. Obviously, we had an awful start, 3-0 to Middlesbrough, 1-0 to Peterborough, and then 3-0 against Preston. We were in the relegation zone. Admittedly, all three games were away, and we actually dominated them. It's just that we couldn't seemingly score, and when we did score, we also conceded a lot in this game. We then did really well, basically. We've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 wins out of our last 12 games. So no real surprise that we've made up to this level. Particularly exciting was a 5-4 away win against Norwich. A bit out of character for us because we've got a lot of 1-0s and that sort of thing. So scoring 5 goals was a bit surprising, but actually kind of crazy that game. Totti scored an own goal and then scored immediately afterwards, and then they scored again. We then got ahead with 2 goals from Garnacho and a goal from Mullin. Keane Lewis-Porter then equalised in the 87th minute, and Harvey Rutherford stole in the 95th minute to get a last-moment winner. We also had a 4-2 win against Luton with 2 goals, with a hat-trick from Paul Mullin, and a goal from Oakley Booth. Most recently, we've had 3 games. So QPR we beat 3-1 with 2 goals from Garnacho. Mullin beat Swansea with a 1-0 with a goal to go 1-0 up. And Colm Whelan scored twice against Cardiff. So in today's episode, we're playing against Hull, who are in 15th, away from home, and then the big one against Fulham at home, which won't be an easy game at all. Because the Fulham game follows pretty closely from this game, we've gone with a very heavily rotated team, and that means that Bryce Hosanna starts at right back with Brett Powell and Maxwell on the left-hand side of the defence. Rutherford starts on the wing, where he's not entirely happy with his game time recently because he is actually the second choice to Hanson Aaron, and I don't want to annoy United so that they don't send us any loanees, particularly for free. So I am going to play him today to give him a chance. Simon Evans is our captain today at the age of, I think, 18, maybe 19. He is homegrown, so I guess that's why it's gone to him, but I'm slightly surprised that that's been allocated. It's probably because Che Dunkley is our captain. I don't know who I suspect Mullin's probably our vice-captain. I can't quite remember. Anyway, Patrick Roberts starts on the left with Tom Bloxham, who you probably won't have seen before because he had a long injury. He's a target forward, and just gives us a little bit more, a few more options up front. And then Colm Whelan starts up front with him. Let's go on and put a show for our fans, and hopefully get a good result that will stand us in good stead ahead of that Fulham game. Well, that's not a good start. 4 minutes on the clock, and already Beereth has stolen in to score. Wasn't the greatest goal, to be honest. I think we're a bit unlucky there. And we've equalised pretty much immediately with Colm Whelan. So 2 set pieces very early in the game, resulting in 2 goals, 1 for each team. Good header though from Whelan, and hopefully we can build on that a little bit and get some more goals. Rutherford and Whelan. Oh, that's unlucky. That's a really good bit of play from him and a good save from the keeper. As you can see, we're currently sitting 1 point ahead of Fulham. Oh, how's he missed that? Oh, he's offside anyway. Just as well. I mean, I suppose he is right. He's left-footed, and he's a centre-back, so it's, you're not necessarily expecting him to score from there with his weak foot. Roberts into Mengi off the bar. I feel like I'm watching the same sort of chances over and over again here. Could perhaps do with Bloxham actually on the front post. I think we'll do that. If we go to free kicks, and maybe I'm thinking of corners actually. Corners will get him. He is the right striker. we'll do that, and then left hand side we'll get him here and swap them there. Lovely. That's a great ball from Evans into Hosanna, or no it's not, he's offside. Evans though does have a really good passing range on him. Lots of times so far this season I've seen him send in a beautiful pass in behind the defence. He just gets a really good shape on them. And let's hope that we can do a bit more in this second half. We have been the better team, but we aren't quite creating as much as we usually would. Roberts sends it in for Mengi off the bar potentially. Yes, Mengi's now hit the bar twice. Sad that we haven't managed to score more, because we've had a couple of big chances for Mengi really. Evans tripped up Beereth there. Thankfully no yellow card for him. And now it's him on the ball passing into Bloxham. Good ball into Hosanna. Great ball into Whelan, and again he's offside actually. But it was directly at the keeper, which is a little bit disappointing from him. Patrick Roberts. Evans, nicely shaped towards Rutherford, who does well to keep it in actually. Oh, Bloxham, unlucky. It was a really good block there. And Evans, not quite the best pass there. Really overran it for Hosanna. And time to get Ethan Galbraith off. Let's get Tashan Oakley-Booth on. And I think we'll get Garnacho on. Who else should we get on? I think Mullin for Bloxham perhaps? Or maybe I'll leave it for now. Give us an option for a sub if we need to, you know, if we have any injuries or anything like that later on. We'll also go positive, because I think we could do with nicking an extra goal. And as it ticks over to the 82nd minute, we could really do with finding that little goal that just sees us through, but it doesn't look like it's coming. Or is it? Great ball from Evans into Garnacho. Oakley-Booth. Garnacho. Mullin! I think he's offside. He's offside. Why does this happen so many times? Oh, I swear he's on. He is on. He's definitely onside. Oh, I'm fuming. What? Oh, come on. That's not fair. He was definitely onside. The defender's foot was definitely sticking back. And that means we now slip to third. But we have got a game in hand on Fulham, who are our opponents in this next game. For the big one then, we've gone with our strongest team possible. And that means that the likes of Lucas Noche come back in. Callum White is our captain today. Rebjuk on the left-hand side. Oakley-Booth joins Galbraith in the central of the midfield. Our two United loanees on the wings are playing, so Garnacho and Hansen Aaron. And Paul Mullin returns in place of Tom Bloxham, who sits on the bench at the expense of Rutherford, who can't be in the squad just purely because of the number of loanees you're allowed to have in the matchday squad. The reason we've gone for Bloxham over Rutherford is simply just a positional thing. I think we've got more options on the wings than we do up front as substitutes, so it just made sense to go for Bloxham. Iheanacho in behind and clipped it over. Actually, it looked like he'd gone past Savin, but clearly Savin did just enough to put him off. Thankfully for us, because that was not entirely impressive defending. Got caught out a little bit there with the pace of Iheanacho. Very quiet first 25 minutes though. One shot all game. Can that change now? Oh, that's unlucky. Noche, a little bit direct at Rodak to be honest, but you know, decently got on to head that. Rebjuk collects from Rodak's long kick. Finds Galbraith. Garnacho loses it to Walker-Peters, but thankfully the pass is intercepted well by Oakley-Booth. When we signed him, I wasn't anticipating playing him as a ball-winning midfielder. I was expecting him to be more of a Mazzala, but he's done very well. And that's a brilliant ball from Galbraith into Hansen Aron, and he scores his first goal of the season. Wow. I guess he's more of an assister as Hansen Aron, and even then he's not the greatest at producing a lot of goals. I wonder if he's maybe a pre-assister a lot. But that was a phenomenal finish from him. Really nice run, and Galbraith found him brilliantly. Galbraith now sends it back to Savin. Ted and Mengi. Hansen Aron looks long for Colm Whelan, and Rodax stepped out to intercept. Now Rebchuk. Looking down the left-hand side, returns the pass back to Galbraith. And now Noche. Good ball into Rebchuk. Tries again, going around his man. Oh, and Hansen Aron scored again. Well, what a time to actually do it. That was a nice bit of play, really. And he snuck in well there to put that home. But I don't know where Hansen Aron's scoring touches come from. He's not been a big scorer at all this season. Let's keep the boys motivated rather than letting them get a bit complacent. And we are actually controlling this game really well, so hopefully substitutes won't affect that too much and we won't lose control. I think it's time to get Garnacho off. We'll get Patrick Roberts on, and Ethan Galbraith I think will come off for James Maxwell actually. Yeah, I think that's the move. And yeah, we'll get Maxwell on as a box-to-box. Don't want to fiddle with Oakley-Booth's role too much, given he's doing a good job today. And I think we'll get Colm Whelan off for Tom Bloxham. Get a bit of height up front to support Paul Mullin, who, obviously having played with Ollie Palmer way back in the day, knows the sort of dynamics of a little man and big man striker partnership. Borges, Diaz, Jones. He's got an option on the right in Walker-Peters, and Rebchuk's not picked him up. Oh dear, Callum White, that's poor. Should have just got it out, and instead he's passed it directly to Jones to score, and hopefully that won't see us stress out too much. I think it's time to get a bit of time wasting on, because we don't want to screw this up. And it looks like that's that. So well done, lads. 2-1 victory over Fulham, who are comfortably the team with the best squad in the division. To the extent that the likes of Alvaro Fernandez, who we looked in as a possible left-back signing, he's actually not even playing that much, and he's probably a low-level Premier League player, at least at this stage, and I reckon he has potential to be higher than that. So really, really good results. Pretty strong performance, and Hansen Aron was absolutely brilliant. So well done to him. And we'll give him a little bit of praise. And that's that. So we don't have a whole lot of money to play with, but when we next come back, we'll probably be either in the transfer window or following the transfer window. But as you can see, we're doing very well in terms of beating the expectations for the Championship. We're not playing counter-attacking football. I'm sorry that we're only first, so I'm really sorry. I have tried to raise the youth level, but the board are not having it because of our financial situation. We are projected to do pretty badly, but I don't know if that's rectifiable or whether that might be a problem if we don't get promoted soon. But we should get promoted this season because we're doing very well. Hopefully we continue to do well, and we'll be up in the Premier League next season. Anyway, if you have enjoyed this episode, please do leave a like and subscribe to the channel, as it really helps me out. I hope to see you next time, but in the meantime, have a fantastic day.